Ooh, I realize I like color. Funny, as soon as I came on, the email. Wow, welcome. Three people on here already. Welcome. Hi, guys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday afternoon, almost evening. Good morning. I mean, good. I'm so used to saying good morning. People, you see me? I just woke up from a nap. I don't take naps. Okay, I don't think I should sit it there. Oh, that's better. Ooh, all the boom booms all in the camera. Sorry, I'm trying to find a good spot to put the laptop because I'm finally doing the tea cakes. I already mixed them up. I'm about to cut them up and put them in the oven. So I just wanted to pop on because this morning I was walking. Ooh, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm trying to get all of this together. So welcome, welcome. Hey, Sierra. Together, but I am disheveled because I don't take naps only unless I don't feel well. So when I wake up from a nap, I never feel the same. I just can't get it back together. So yeah, I just woke up from a nap, a well needed nap. So I did it in a log. This is the dough for the tea cakes. Because yesterday when I logged off with you guys, I was making. Hello, Deborah. I was making the dough, so I just let it sit all night. So now this makes it easier for me because I just cut it just like you do. Like if you buy cookie dough in the store and you just open the package and start cutting it. That's exactly what I'm going to do with this. But this is a lot, right? I'm so happy. Like, yay! So how are you guys doing today? Because let me tell y'all something. I was shocked I was that sleepy. I took a shower. I was like, I'm sleepy. And normally I would just push through. Today I was like, no, honey, you're going to lay your behind down and take a nap. Because obviously you are tired. And then a little vein. I hate when they pop in your eye because it becomes very scratchy. And so like one half of the eye over here, it was all this was red. And I was like, okay, go to sleep. When you wake up, it'll be fine. Hey mama, how you doing, Melanie? So yes, so I am about to make these tea cakes. I called the lady who I actually making the tea cakes for, and she didn't answer. So I just left a message like, listen, what's your address? We're gonna drop these off tonight. So my child, she is on another date with her little friend. His name is Jacob. So y'all know the hue in his skin, right? Uh, Woo wee, this Michigan living people. My kids done grew up watching Nickelodeon and Disney, and they think it's We Are the World around here. Like, sheesh, no loyalty to the culture. I tell you, these kids. I think Malcolm will be the only one that'll stick with a sister. And if y'all don't know who that's Dylan, Hugh Redder calls Dylan Malcolm. So I think Malcolm will be the only one that'll sling a sister up in here. Cause the other one, the other one was slinging um the other hue people. I like to say clear people. So and now she is she didn't want to tell me about him. David had told me about him because she I told y'all she close to David. So David knew about him. You said I'm not right? I'm sorry. So who just took her? Because the boy lived far from here. He don't live nowhere around us. Yes, ma'am. Melanie. And so this morning, because she didn't have to work today, so when I came back from walking, her and she has a friend now. People, you know my daughter don't do well with friends, especially girlfriends, because they's your rough, honey. Deja is rough. Soon as they make her mad, Deja don't want to be their friend anymore. So the fact that she's this young lady is going into her sophomore year. So this is a young lady who's in college as well, and she attends the same school that Deja's going to be going to, and she has some challenges as well. So I thought that was a good match, you know. So they went out to Target this morning and to the beauty supply store. I was like, okay. But here's the funny thing. Now tell me Deja ain't balling, y'all. Deja got paid yesterday. Guess what she said? I hold this to next week when I get the other one. Because I still got money. She balling, y'all. You're not going to the bank? No, I got money. And mind you, I have to really stay on her because she would be broke. So when she bought, what did she buy? Oh, when she bought that iPhone, she bought that sucker cash money. Okay? I think it was 600 or something dollars. Her mama good because I be making sure. Um, you have anything silver that you can put it in and cut it? Because silver want to help cuts the odor. But red onions are strong, honey. You just gonna have to muster through. Red onions, these I just want y'all to know this dough smells so good. When I say good, it has vanilla beans. I scraped a vanilla bean in here. It's lemon zest. It's nutmeg. All that is in this tea cake. When I say it smells good, oh my goodness. When I made these the first time, I was like, oh my God, these are really good. Cause the lady who I'm making them for, she said, Miss Harper, do you make tea cakes? I said, I can. I never made them before, but it's probably easy. And so when I made them, everybody was like, oh my God, these are really good. It's like, yeah, I had never made these things before. So now, hence, we about to throw these in the oven. And I only put 9 on the tray because these spread. You know, some cookies you can make and they don't spread that much. These spread because they're very cakey like. It's a cakey like cookie. And it's only 8 to 10 minutes. It's not in the oven a long time, but it's very cakey. And so I only put 9 on here because they're going to. So, Miss Deborah, remember you said persistence. I hope the person whose name was. I went walking this morning. Cause y'all know I told y'all I'm getting rid of this. I gotta get my little dating body back together. Cause I was all happy being in love and depressed at the same time. But anyway, I'm walking this morning. I leave at 7:15 to go walking. And my doorbell, because if you have the Ring doorbell, you know if you leave or if somebody comes on the property within the camp, it senses it and it alerts you to let you know. So I heard it, but I have a big plant, it's a money tree plant that sits on the corner of the back porch, and when the leaves blow, because it has gotten, I put that little big thing home from the Home Depot. It was like this. The pot that I think I have a humongous pot, and the leaves are like this now. It's sitting on the back porch. So at some point we're gonna have to bring it in the house because it's actually a house plant. Well, honey, I look who in the garden. Then calls. You need a haircut? Need a, nope, I don't need no haircut. I said, but Dylan wanted a haircut, but listen, I'm telling y'all, Malcolm, that's the one. He gonna stick with his mama. I said, but he didn't want to call you because he said he loyal to me, so he ain't calling you to get him a haircut. He was like, what? At least one of them gonna stick with me, doggone it, you. And he was like, oh. So by the time I come home, Malcolm and living room. Because I bought these new, since we've been in the pandemic, I bought the cordless wall clippers. It's a very nice clipper set. I spent like $60 on it. I like it. And they're cordless. So he was Malcolm. That's Dylan. But if Hugh Rudder was on here, that's what she called him, Malcolm. Because he's so militant. I'm telling you, that's my ride or die kid right there. He has so much of my temperament. It's amazing. Um, he was in there. I was like, oh, what's going on? He said, oh, he's going to cut my hair. And so I come back out because I'm going in the garden now. It's like, I explained to Malcolm that whatever me and your mother go through, that doesn't change the relationship I have with you kids. And if you need a haircut, you can get a haircut. So he come and said, so Malcolm come in, mommy, he want to know if you want a haircut. I said, no, tell him I'm letting my hair grow out. And Deja falls out and start laughing. Like, dude, for real. And I said I wasn't going to discuss this topic after yesterday, but the cussing has ceased. It's out of my system. I feel so much better. But yeah. So Deborah, I'm telling that story right now because you said, do you think they would be persistent? And I said no, but I ain't know, girl. I thought he just go on out of here. You got girlfriends and bed warmers and all that. Don't bother me. I ain't bother nobody. Still, just like I was when he came over here minding my own business. Same way. But anyway, I'm cutting some more dough because I'm gonna pull out another cookie sheet and put some more on there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Listen, that's the one. He'll be playing none of them games. And I was like, one day when we lived in North Carolina, Dylan started the first grade. I ended up volunteering in the building because Dylan was giving his first grade teacher fever. Little young white girl. I don't know how many years she been. And what happened? Oh, she would ask questions in class, and he would raise his hand. She would never acknowledge him. So one day, Dylan checked her in front of the class. He said, "I noticed that when the white kids raise their hand, you address them, but when I raise mine, you don't. Are you racist?" He was first grade. I was like, they called me in, the principal, the teacher, and they called me in for a meeting. This was when we lived in Raleigh. When we lived in Raleigh. Yes, Melody, yes. And so they called me in for a meeting, Miss Harper. We would like to discuss what Dylan said to his teacher. I'm like, was there a problem? Well, this is what he said to Miss So and so. And her feelings were hurt, and she was very upset about it. So here goes his mama. Well, are you? Is what he said accurate? Do you not pick the black kids in your class? And you only pick on the white? Hold up, the principal and the teacher was looking at me. I was like, yeah, I'm his mama. That's where you got it from. So is this true? No. And I just was I don't care nothing about your feelings right now because see, you got my young son up in your class. He just in the first grade and he's smart. So you can't mess up with him. Mm-mm. So I that day said to her and him, I think I need to volunteer in this class. So and so they like, what? I need to volunteer. So I ended up volunteering the entire school year. I volunteered in his class. I became the class mom in Dylan's class. And then I tutored math to a third grader and I tutored reading to a second grader. And I was the class mom because I needed to see what was going on in the class. Because my thing is, if he picked up on that, it's something to it. Honey, I never felt nothing in that class once I start being in that class. He is. And he'll call you on it. He will. And I'm afraid for him. Because he is his mother. And my mother always said, that one is you. That boy right there, he got your temperament. She said he act too much like you. She says like you gave birth to him. I said somebody up in here need to be like me. These jokers just flying all willy nilly. Like somebody need to have something that rubbed off on them. But yeah. So my girlfriend, he's ready to call him Malcolm. She's like, we're Malcolm X. He don't play that. Even though he's stuck on them games now, he's conscious enough. But I'm not worried about that one. Bringing the clear people home. Oh, because it was that other one who's leaving, my oldest child, let me see it like that, who called me a racist. You're just a racist, mommy. I was like, let's stop. Let me explain to you what racism is. So if you want to get my label right, you might want to say I'm a bigot. I can go with that, but racist I am not. But I ain't playing with you. Don't bring them jokers up in my house. I was not playing with him. Like, I can't help it. You know what? I'm telling you, Disney, they grew up on Disney and Nickelodeon. All them little cute shows, watching High School Musical. Oh, Kumbaya, it's just all this love. And I just sit back and watch like, these jokers grew up on this, so they think this like for real, like, we are the world, we are friends. And I'm like, that's not real life, son. He's like, oh yeah, no, it's not. So when we moved here, when that woman saw him walk by and she pulled her pocketbook, that was a great slap in the face for the oldest one. He was like, why she do that? I said, because we the world. Y'all everybody love everybody. What you said in that crazy energy? Listen, I was so tired. And I ate some cherries and I took my vitamins. And yeah, but you know what? I didn't sleep all night, and listen, my sleep patterns were good, and I think just with everything that has taken place, I fell back last no, not almost, because last night the first night, because normally I just pass out now. But last night I woke up 3 o'clock this morning, and I was up. I was up watching videos and reading stuff on YouTube. And I was like, okay, but you want to get up and go walking at 6:30. So I got up. I got up, I got dressed, I left out like 7:15 because it's still dark. See, because it's dark later here because we don't get dark at night until about 10. Melanie know this because she's in Chicago. But for my East Coast folks, it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock before it gets dark here. So we become lighter later, like on the East Coast, like 5:30, 5:45, the sun is up because the sun rises in the east. Here it's not till like after 6:30 the sun rises, so I had to wait till it was a little bright outside. So, and then the park I walk in, everybody keep telling me that the park that's a bad park. I'm like, child, please. I take my pepper spray in my pocket. I'm good on them. So I have no problem. I see the same people walking, and that's what I think they'll understand. It's older people, in the park walking, like 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, because it's an older gentleman. I always say good morning, sir, because he's an older gentleman. But they still sleep. They ain't got time to be getting up that early going to walk in the doggone park. It's us old folks who get up because we done slept all night and we want to go exercise. So that was my this morning. I do seem like I'm awake, don't I, Deborah? Listen, normally I'd be like, oh God. My life back together. I told you I love talking to y'all. I do. I love talking to y'all. It's good for me. But yeah, so my child, and listen, why was we having the SEX talk? I was like, let me tell you something, young lady. Don't be giving your stuff away. You know it's precious. This is only your second date with this boy. Don't you be hello, where them condoms that I bought you? Let me tell you. See, I tell it all. She said to me, she watched the video. She said, Mommy, I would just like to know why didn't you use a condom with the other subject? 1 second. People be calling you like they know you. do some more research then. They call like 3 times a day. I am gonna let my hair grow. Um, I'm gonna let's let me say this. I It's gonna be cold, and I think if we're gonna have a cold winter this winter, and I think I want some hair. I think I want some hair. Now, if it start growing, in that in between state, I can't stand it. But now they got that little sponge where you put it on your hair and you just rubble it, it becomes coily up there. I'm going to get me one of those. Dylan has one, but I don't want to use his. Yes, they just all up in my business. So I explained to her, I was like, listen, when you're in a relationship that long, anybody using condoms? Let's be real. For almost 5 years. I said, but I understand. But let me tell you something. That box of condoms I use for you, you better use it every time. She's like, I am, because I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. Yeah, my child checked me, honey. She was like, what you? Hello, Miss Missy, back up off your mama. Yes, that thing is right. So I'm just waiting to receive a phone call from the subject that Deja and I hurt his feelings. Because Deja is no joke with that tongue of hers, and she hasn't said anything to him yet. So I'm waiting for that phone call because I know she gonna slide it in. They're gonna be talking, and she gonna gut punch him, and he gonna be shocked and gonna be mad because they that like that, and it's gonna sting when she get him. I already know it's coming. So I'm just sitting back watching. So she gonna get him. Looky, the first batch is done. I told y'all they don't take long. First batch just came out. They don't take long. Hold on, let me put the next one in. And I like to put these on the top rack when I put them in the oven. I don't want to put them on the lower rack too close to the fire. And because they're so cakey, I'm gonna let one of these cool off, and I'm gonna show you what they look like. Because I don't have y'all on my phone. I have you on the laptop. If I had the phone, I could just flip it on over there. But that's just life. So how y'all doing today? And I'm just thank y'all. I ain't even say welcome. Did I say welcome? Did I say welcome? Listen, I'm making me a salad because I'm hungry. Okay, I'm taking one out so y'all can see what it looks like. Ooh, it's really hot. Okay, so this is what it looks like. See how it rolls? And when I'm gonna open it, I gotta let it cool off a minute. But when I open it, you'll see that it's very like cakey like, and when you bite into it, it is so good. But it's a cookie, and it's a southern thing. It's called a tea cake, and it smells so good. I'm telling you, the ingredients. The better your ingredients, the better. Like that. Uh, what did I buy? I bought the Madagascar vanilla beans at the International Market in Bluefield Hills. I used Domino sugar. I use real. But did this have butter in it? This did not have butter in it. It's no butter in here. Okay, so it's cooling off in my hands. It's very cakey, and it's the. Oh my God, I want to eat some, but nope. I'm gonna. I've been doing good, Melanie. You'll be so proud of me. Yes, yes. So, my old coworker, because I'm gonna be transferring school, y'all. I was on a Zoom last night. I think it's school because right now we're virtual, so I'm not working. Okay, okay. Zierra, I'm saying okay to you. Um, so school started here Tuesday. Well, school started this week here, but I didn't go back to work yet because I contracted out. And so I contract through the federal government. They don't know when we started, which is cool with me. So I think they said on the 31st. I may have to do all my paperwork and start in September, but it's going to be virtual. Just like, as long as it's virtual. Oh, look, dumbfounded. I would like to help you further. So when you go back to the doctor's, okay. All right, Miss Melanie. Melanie, is that the arena you want to go in doing holistic medicine? Do you watch Brother Kareem? I think I mentioned him to you. He's a herbalist. He's out of Arizona. Brother Kareem is crazy. Uh, you know what? I read something today as I was scrolling that Raz said he doesn't want y'all to go back into the school, Zierra. I saw that today. I was like, is what's his name? Little stubby bubby. Little Hispanic guy who y'all superintendent now, Roger. I was like, Roger sending the kids back to school. I was shocked. Says Roger is a Nook boy, born and bred down in the East District, down there next to the projects down in the East District. I was so shocked that he took the stance that he wanted to send his kids back into the building. Because here, right now, everything's virtual. Dylan doesn't go to Flint school system. Malcolm, he don't go to Flint. So his school district hasn't even voted on what it's supposed to look like yet. They just called us this week. So we won't know until yeah, Roger Leone. See, I call him Roger because you know he used to work with me at the school. I just call him Roger. Listen, I was down at the board. This was before we moved here, because Deja was attending. Oh my God, I can't even think of the school she was going to. Devin was going to Eagle Academy. That's the all boys school because Eagle Academy is out in New York, and they opened up a chapter, but under the Newark Board of Education, all males schools called Eagle Academy. So we had an issue when Devin, I can't even think of the school, Devin, because Devin and Daisy was in the same school, but because Devin had an issue there, I went downtown. Like, listen, my son can't stay there. It is not safe for him. Bam! Somebody said, "Oh, Eagle Academy accepted." I walked right around the corner to Louise A. Spencer because at that point, Eagle Academy was housed. It was like a school within a school type situation. Because right now they are on the top floor weekway, so it's still a school within a school situation. Yes, yes, to both of you. Yes. And with COVID, I'm so glad they was like, so how do you think that you can do your capacity building? This is part of my interview yesterday evening, virtually. And how do you think that you'll be able to bring partners into our school to service kids? And I was like, listen, that would be better. You can have a whole classroom like we did financial literacy. The person can sit on the other side, have a whole classroom and teach the kid financial literacy. What are you talking about? Virtually, it's so easy. I don't know why they're trying to make it seem so hard, but that's just me. It's just me. It's easy to teach kids virtually because one, they already engaged with technology. They more savvy than me. I'm just saying, like bringing partners in. Hopefully by now, since March and they see what's going on, they should have they game tight if they want to come into the school and they have funding and they grant say they have to interact with schools. See, I'm getting into my job now, y'all. Your stuff need to be don't not have me call you and you say you're gonna present something or have a program for our kid and you sitting there and don't know what you're gonna do. That is not gonna work. Next person, because we're not gonna use you. So that's what happens. A lot of these nonprofits here, they all have an education piece. So they want to get into the schools because in their bylaws, nope, 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 but in their mission statement, They say they want to help out kids. So being virtual should not be a problem. Y'all should have tightened your game up. These past 3, 4 months, y'all know you knew that you had to deal with COVID and it's virtual. So we shall see what's going to happen this school year. But I think I'm going to another school. So the principal I had at the school I was at for 2 years, he left and he became the principal at another school. That's the school I want to go to. I work very well with him. I know his work style. I know what his expectations are. So my old director, I hate to leave him, but they hired someone in that position already, in my position already. So I'm looking at going, and it's a different demographic, guys. It's clear people. Y'all know I be talking straight slick to them little kids, even though we in school. Cause listen, the kids at my school used to be trying to, especially the bigger kids, because a lot of them were big. I ain't no little woman. Them kids were bigger than me. I walked in the building like, how the y'all grow big out here? They taller than me. They got more weight up on them. And little boy told me one time he was going F me up. We were in the cafeteria. I had walked through to get something. And he said, oh, I'm going to F you up. And I stopped in my tracks and turned around. Said, I will fight a kid today. If you put your hands on me, I'm going to drag you right here. And you know the other kids was like, oh, sweat. Yo, she trying to punk you. He looked at me. I looked at him. I said, what you going to do? Don't put your hands on me. I said, I thought that's what you was going to say. And I told the rest of them, shut your mouth and sit there and be quiet till we go outside. He went and sat his little fresh behind down. Like, don't you think you're going to punk me? Because soon as they think you're a little scared of them, they, oh no. I told y'all, the little boy told his mama, the mean one. Yes, no, listen, little Theodore, sweetie pie. I love Theodore. I told him to tell his mother to call me, right? His mother came the next day, his mother and father, and they were both laughing. It was like, listen, Theodore told us that you said to come here today. I said, yes. She said, but let me tell you how Theodore said it. He said, Mommy, you know that lady at school? She told me, tell your mommy to come here tomorrow. And she said, well, which one is that? He said, you know the one she don't play. Ah, that's what he said. I said, do you know he give me a hug everybody? She said, no, Theodore said, Mommy, she don't play. But she said, she needs you to come to school. I was like, she said, so Theodore recognized that you don't play. Like, he said, Mommy, she be going off. And I was like, oh my God. Because if I go in a class and them kids be trying to act funky, if I bring a partner in and they want to act like they don't have no home training, I go straight right there. When I was like, oh, this is what we going to do today? All right. And wait, and I'll pull out my phone. Let me call your mama. They be like, no, Miss Harper, please don't call my mother. I said, because I don't think your mother know you act like this in school. So we got company who's coming to bring a service to you. You gonna show you behind? Oh, I'm calling your mother right now. No, Miss Harper, I'm so sorry. You apologize to, I guess. I'll be getting them. So yeah, so they say I don't take no stuff. I ain't playing with you. Listen, one time my principal and I was the hallway, same principal I want to go be with. This when him and I first got together. And he ain't had no problem calling the police on our kids. Black man, black children, not on my watch. We can handle this in-house. You ain't got to call the cops on our kids. Honey, he called the cops on one of my mentees. Baby, my director, she was a clear female. She went in our office and she closed the door. Because literally I stood toe to toe and was fussing up and down the hallway with my principal. You ain't vested in this community. These kids look like you. You gonna act like them other people. I was going off. He's like, but Miss Harper, no, you wrong, you wrong. You supposed to handle this, black man. When you speak, they supposed to move, and you gonna do this to our black kids. What you think they gonna think of you, huh? Honey, was not playing with him. Yeah. So he kind of tapered down a whole lot, but some things happened. Like he became ill. His mom passed on. So it kind of tapered his spirit. And then he took this training, and it was teaching him how to interact with kids on a more personal level. And that helped tremendously because his behavior, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you got your life together, because you was driving me crazy acting like these kids don't belong to us. These are kids. You're not going to treat our kids like they treat our kids. These kids, their parents might be crazy coming up here cussing us out with a bonnet and their pajamas on. I don't care. Don't be teaching. No, I ain't with none of that. And I know it get crazy, but come on, these still our people. So I'm going to be with him a lot. Him and I talk on the phone. Things have changed, but yeah. Oh, the cookies coming out so nice. Like I put this the last batch going in right now. The other one got like 2 minutes. Y'all see I'm chatterbox today. Deborah, I guess that nap did help me. But yeah, so it's I'm so sorry that they are making y'all go into the building. All I will say is this, Sierra. Get you a little spray bottle like this. Put some alcohol and water in it every day, because that kills within 3 seconds. I know they be saying Lysol. Lysol take a little bit longer because it got to sit and then you got to wipe it. Get you some alcohol and put it in there with some water. 3 seconds if you spray it. And then, wear your mask. Because we know, and you with that little small population, they like to touch and kiss and, honey, get you some alcohol and water. And then wear your mask. And take you some thieves oil and put it on you. Or if you don't have no thieves oil, listen, I got it all. This is my colloidal silver. I do this every 10 days. This is my silver. Especially now, it's gonna be time for me to go back in that building. So when they give me the call that I gotta go back, that day I'm gonna start popping this. This is my colloidal silver, and I already showed you on my vitamin regimen. And then I make my own thieves oil. And so I put that PT. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're gonna have to really like build your immune system up. And I would recommend what because they keep saying what the D3, they're saying that we deficient, and I go outside in the sun every day. So I know I'm not deficient, but I still do take the vitamin D. And this is 1,000. So if you're going to work with those kids, I would say take 2,000. Melanie probably tell you a more organic way with food, but I'm just saying we work with kids, and we know once one kid get it, it runs through the building. So I told you that's why I think COVID was in our building the end of last school year, because the kids were sick, kids were being hospitalized, they were coming to work. Listen, it was not just in our school; it was through the whole district. My director was sick. Miss Houston was sick. River was sick. These are all people that worked in my office. Then the other team, that's the after school program, their director was sick. The lead that works under the director, she was sick. All these people were sick. And I was just sitting there. Like, if you went, I had my little yogi teas. I was giving them little or throat coats, and I was just passing out stuff because I told you the only thing I had was the cough. I never got full-fledged sick. I just had this lingering, like it was a dry cough too. I had the lingering dry cough, but that was it. But I had my diffuser with my eucalyptus burning every day in the office. I was taking my teas, and so I just had the cough, but I didn't have the full-fledged, like they were full-fledged sick. And poor little River, he was sick for over a month. He was, he would come out like, you got to go back home. You can't be in here with us like that. You're sick. Goodbye. Go home. I'm sorry. Get up out of here. All them germs passing around in the office. And listen, I'm Cloroxing all the desks in our office. I'm Cloroxing everything. Our phone every night before we left. Clorox in the phone. We had a refrigerator, wipe it down the micro. And Miss Houston was the exact same way. She a clean fanatic too. So we were all like making sure, trying to keep them germs down, because everybody was sick. So I'm gonna say COVID, Corona, whatever you want to call it. It came in our district, because I know our school wasn't the only school that had kids who were sick between October and December of last year. Good morning. I mean, good evening, Kasana. So that was we weren't the only school that had sickly kids to the point the nurses came in because we have a nurse in our building because of the water crisis. They didn't all schools here didn't have nurses, but because of the water crisis, when the grant came down, every school had a nurse, had their own nurse on site. So the nurses had like a meeting in our building, and they were talking about the kids, how sickly the kids were, and the bug that was going around, how we just, our cleaning measures and stuff. But at that time, nobody was talking about that it was corona. They were just saying we having a really bad allergy season. And then when our mentee, her name, I'm not gonna say her name, but she suffered from asthma, and she's such a sweet, sweet young lady, and she was back and forth in the hospital. Like we would see her for mentoring, and then we wouldn't see her. And I'm like, "You were in the hospital again?" She said, "Yeah, Miss Harper. It's just so much." She was like a mature little miniature woman. Yeah, it was, they can't get it together. That's how she was talking to me. They can't get it together. But yeah, so we had that last school year, but just up until it was like between October and December. And then when we came back for the new year, River was still sick in January. He was still sick. He was sick a long time, y'all. And he was the youngest one in the office. So, they always say when there's a virus or something, it's the old and the young. And for our office, I was the oldest one. He was the youngest one, but he didn't take care of himself. And see, old grandma here, she was popping and doing what she need, drinking my teas. And if you looked in my drawer at work, one young lady would come in. She was like, "Dad, yeah, I need my teas. I need to stay healthy." I was going to the farmer's market like crazy, like get my stuff. Like, no, I'm not gonna get sick. So I will say to you, Ziera, beef up your immune system. If you got to go back in there with them little babies, because I'm telling you, y'all not gonna be in the building long. Because just what happened? Look, Georgia went to school. Them jokers, 200 over 200 teachers sick, 100 and something kids. All these people quarantined because they went back to school. So it's gonna be inevitable. We're not all supposed to be together yet. So keep me virtual. Taking that back is our people. So I want to try it. I said I didn't want to try it because I want to eat my salad first. But see, look how flaky it is. I gotta come. The camera's up here. Look how flaky. Look at that. It, Let me tell you something. I understand why they drink this with tea because I can see somebody dipping this in their tea, and because you still get that cookie, but it's that cake. It's cake flaky. Oh my god! Listen, I had never had one of these. I told you, lady in my office. She was like, "You make tea?" I was like, "I don't know." She said she grew up eating these. She's about 7 or 8 years older than I am. She grew up here. But these people, they migrated from like Mississippi, Arkansas, some Texas, Tennessee. They came straight up like for us. And I think I said this before. It's Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Delaware. They migrated north for work. These people migrated straight up the middle, went to Chicago where Melanie is, to work for the automotive dealer industry. Listen, I hear the stories that a lot of the men who worked because they call it the shop. We say the automotive, they call it the shop here. I had never heard that term until I got here. A lot of them, they couldn't even write. They just put their mark. I was like, y'all gonna stop playing with me. But right now we have a large illiterate population still right now today in Flint. But if you look around, they own like 3, 4 houses. They got multiple cars. They done took care of their families. So it is what it is. This is good. Those are good. They're real good. You can just taste everything, the lemon zest and the vanilla bean and the nutmeg. Hmm. I just I don't know if you would want to frost those. I think if you ate some of those with some ice cream, I'm trying to get my life together. I only ate that because I'm talking to y'all because I have been doing extremely well. Melanie, you would be so proud of me because I told you I'm getting this stuff off me. So when I eat this salad, that's going to be it for me till tomorrow. I drink my water, but I've been like, nope, I'm getting my life together. I was stuck, but I ain't stuck no more. Yes. So y'all hit the thumbs up button. Boop, 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 boop. And cookies are done. I'm going to show y'all these because these came out bigger than the last batch. Look at these. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. Look how thick it. Look at it. Look at there. This is a nice tea cake. See, a little brown on the bottom. But this is a Southern tea cake. And so I have a little I called her and left a message like, I need your address so I can send you so we could drop off these tea cakes to you. You know what? They actually are. I was like, wow, this is good. Let me go back to I just came put my phone just to see if she called me back because she hasn't been doing well. So that's why I wanted to make her some cookies when she was in I have never even had a beignet. Never. But let me tell you something. I'm not gonna say no. Because one thing they taught me in culinary school, read that, read it, read it. You'll figure it out. Read this the recipe. You'll figure it out. That was the beauty of going to culinary school because I was terrified of bread. Bread was my fear, like going into culinary school, like I don't know how to make bread. And then I'm in a program that's baking. I don't need to do any cooking. I just want to bake. And the professor came in and she said, "We baking bread today." And the guy who was my partner, he started laughing because he heard me say, "Oh God." Soon as she said, I was like, "Oh God," because I'm like, this is my worst fear. Making this bread. I'm afraid to make the bread. And so, honey, he was so patient with me. And it's funny because he ended up opening. If the bowling alley is still up in West Orange, well, I know things are closed. He took over the concession stand at the bowling alley in West Orange. He was my partner in culinary school because he was doing like catering outside. And I saw him one year. I was going to Melanie back at home for 8 years. I would cook for Thanksgiving. And my friends, they would come and help me serve. That was something the creator gave me. And we would stand on the corner of Lyons Avenue and Clinton Place and serve food to whoever wanted. Like I did everything. I did all the cooking. We had the trays. Deborah, if Deborah's in here, Deborah was one of my volunteers who would come out. And I did that for 8 years. And it was just funds from my friends. I would send a letter like, oh, it's that time again. And then at work at Rutgers, because I worked at Rutgers, put me in a newsletter because I was just telling the people in my office. I was like, listen, I do this thing every year. Y'all want to donate? I serve to the people on the street. And the secretary in the office sent an email to our director. She was like, listen, she does this. I think we should do an article on her. So I came in the next day and the secretary, she was sitting there. She was like, okay, I need to know about you. I need your background. I said, what? Tell me about you. Because all I do is see you and you just say hello. And you just come. I just need to know about. So she sat there and wrote this article up about me and sent it through Rutgers, the whole system. Just emailed everybody. About 2 weeks later, my director, she calls me. She's like, when you get in the office, I need you to come and take a walk with me. And so we left our building and we went to another building. And this was her boss I had never met. And I walked in, it was like, well, hello, Miss Harper. And she stepped back and from one wall to another was nothing but food and gift cards and money that people had sent because they read the article about me cooking on the street. And I just started sobbing right there in the class, like, oh my God. And then the tent that's in my backyard, my director, she bought that tent because I used to borrow tents like that and put if I could get three tents, put three tents together. My friend Morris, his friend owned the church. They loaned me the tables, and so like sometime it was only. I remember one year I went out. I was the only person there. I set my food up, and I told the people could just have some patience with me. A lady walked up. Deborah, she lived behind the school on Clinton Place. She lived behind George Washington Carver. She said she was looking out her window and she saw me out there by myself. And she said, ma'am, my stove ain't working. We don't have no Thanksgiving dinner. But I saw you come out here. She said, do you need help? I said, yes. And when you leave, you're going to leave with a whole Thanksgiving dinner. I said, let's do this right now. I gave her a whole turkey. I made all the sides. I told her to I said, go take that to your house and then you come back and you help me. That lady took that and she stayed with me the entire time. We served all the food. She helped me clean up and I went on my way. Listen, it snowed. We shoveled the snow and we stood right out there and served food. I did that for 8 years. So, yeah, Rutgers was good to me though. Oh my God, those people blessed me in such a mighty way so that I can bless other people. Honey, I love doing that. And then when Cory Booker became the mayor of Newark, when I went to go, they was like, oh, things changed in Newark. You got to go downtown. So I was like, okay. So I went downtown and I was like, listen, I need a permit so that I can serve on Thanksgiving. I do this every year. And they was like, oh no, you have to pay $850. And you need to get $1 million rider if something happened to people. I said, on your street, on the on the sidewalk, you telling me if something happens to them on the city of Newark's sidewalk, I need $1 million rider. He said, yes. I have not served food since then because I was like, I'm not doing that. He's like, I said, I'm not doing that. I said, I already put out money for the food and the trays and whatever else that because we gave everything. They had the napkin, the fork, the salt and pepper. All the people had to do was just walk up and we had the bags. They could choose what dessert. Miss Fiesta, she helps her, and different friends help. If they couldn't come out and physically help, they sent money. And then my friend Brian Hannibal, he done went transition on. He couldn't do much. He put his little bag on there with the sports and stuff and telling people, oh, come on. He just wanted to be a part of it. So Senator Cory Booker shut us down, honey. I don't have nothing good when they talk about Cory. Because, see, I know Cory. He was my neighbor when I lived on Longworth before we moved here. Mm-hmm. I have nothing good to say about Cory Booker. I'm sorry. And if y'all some Cory Booker fans, sorry. I ain't got nothing nice to say about him. But yeah, so because he put the stipulation on it, I can no longer serve. So yeah, that was 8 years. Eight years of doing that. And that was such a blessing. Such a blessing. Because you don't realize, you just assumption that everybody got food to eat for Thanksgiving. No, and that food was cooked. I ain't giving them no uncooked food. No, it's cooked. And I cooked it myself. And I would start a week in advance. I had got so good, I knew like the Sunday prior, like the week before Thanksgiving would come, that Sunday I would start cooking. Like, okay, and everybody played a role. So my friend Vernon, he had a really big truck. No, he did nothing for Newark. Absolutely. But, he just want to, he used Newark as a stepping stone. He had a really big truck. So his job, and he appointed himself to this job. I didn't point in whatever capacity you could help. I was happy. He took me grocery shopping. And so because we would have to go to Costco's, we would have to go to Restaurant Depot, ShopRite. Where else did we go? And then if I had to pick other things up, he would be like, okay, this is the day. I will take you to get everything you need. So that was his contribution to helping us. And he did that. I think he did that every year. Dad, I didn't even realize Bernie did that every year. So right now, he did that every year, all 8 years. He would be like, "You going shopping?" I'm like, "Yep." He said, "Okay, I'll pick you up." And we would get all the shopping done. And that was his contribution. Some people sent checks, some people sent cash, some people, like I said, but that was a blessing. I wanted to do that here, but they funky here. That's all I'm gonna say. But now they want to arrest people for giving people food. What? People hungry. All right, y'all. My last batch stuff came out. We got cookies, people. We got tea cakes. My last batch, I just pulled it out. See how quick that was? And that's only because I let that dough sit in there all night. Because you just have to let it sit for 1 hour. Once you make it up, you let it sit for an hour, and you can start slicing it up. But for me, yesterday evening, I went out to water the garden. I was like, I'm not doing them tea cakes. That's out. And I knew I was going to do them today. So, but I took the nap and I was like, let me get up. Because my child, she had already started texting me. She was like, oh, we'll do it later. Because I had asked her early this morning. I told y'all I've been up since 3 something this morning. And so I sent her a text at 4 o'clock in the morning, like, good morning, child. Later on today, I would like to drop the tea cakes off to Miss Houston. And then I text her sister because she's doing the website for me. And I was like, can we finish up the website this weekend? I was like, oh my God, I can't be doing this. I was up and I started working. Like, okay. And then I was on eBay looking for a bus. Because let me tell y'all, all y'all North people, y'all know how they take the bus and convert it and make it like a little restaurant? Melanie, I saw a bus in Chicago. It's $2,900. I was like, I just need to take a mechanic with me, but I'm going to buy me a bus and trick that sucker out. And then I'll have to worry about a brick and mortar until we go. Because I have a dead end right here and I could park the bus right there and open up for business. Let me tell y'all something. When you get a knuckle off your mind start working. So, yeah. So I called her today so she could finish up. I need to recertify for my serve safe because it expired. So tonight I'm going to the school here. They do the serve safe. Um, Michigan State, because we have University of Michigan and Michigan State here in Flint. So I will be doing that, signing up for my class so I can get my serve safe again. You know, that's just about food safety. Let's see. Melody, this for you. Did you see my face? What did I tell you was here when I was flapping on that other video? Liquor stores. Liquor stores. I think they got more liquor stores than food stores. Sorry, I need to get another rack so that I can put my cookies on it so that they can dry. I mean cool off. So I like using the wire racks because the air circulates around in the cookie evenly. Honey, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna have to put Miss Houston cookies in the tin because if Dylan walks in and see these, he's gonna start eating them. Because Dylan eat everything. So I don't know if y'all can see the rack. I just put them on a rack so that they can cool. I have several of these racks, and I just put them on there. Yep. The grocery stores aren't. Cause every time I go to the grocery store, like this one lady was in the grocery store, she was in front of me. I don't know that woman from a can of paint. Nothing but liquor. I was like, is she having a party in her house? Like, that's a lot of liquor. But people really drink. I mean, like they drink. So, all right, guys. So we have 18. 18. Let's see. So we had 27. 27 tea cakes. Yeah, and I didn't talk to you about the other thing either, because I'm just trying to do what I got to do. Multiple streams, I believe in it. Multiple streams of income, multiple streams. That's why when I started looking on eBay, I'm telling you, I was in the morning time because I'm a morning person. But that's when I have my clarity. It either comes to me in a dream, or when I wake up in the morning doing my prayer time, things come to me, and if I follow what is said, it always works out for me. So now the tea cakes are done. I can't believe it. They're done. Yay! And that was quick. We've been on for an hour. I've been chatting now. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I can go. I am truly my sign. If you because Geminis, they talk about communicative people. I am truly my sign. Because I can go. And it's always been my entire life. When my mother passed and my sister and I was cleaning out stuff, my mother still had all of my report cards from school on the back. That's what it said. Felicia Don talks too much. Felicia Don is talkative. Felicia Don, Felicia Don, Felicia Don. My mother said, "You've been running your mouth your whole life." Listen, and I'll talk to strangers. I am never without someone to talk to. If I go into space and I don't know anybody, if I sit down, the person I'm sitting next to will start talking to me. And they look, I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And we'll start talking. By the time I leave, I know their family business, everything. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I used to go out by myself because I knew somebody would talk to me. I had no problem. I never had a problem going out to eat by myself, going to the movies by myself. Again, that's that being the only child too, for a long time by yourself. That's probably why I talk so much, because I ain't had nobody to talk to. So I was talking to myself until that child came along. So yeah, but I don't have no problems going, because somebody gonna start talking to me. It's just what it is. I find that to be true. I don't care where I am. Like when I was going to visit Deja when she was in the hospital the last time, we had to wait until they opened the door for us to go in, because they took your stuff, they looked through everything. So it was my first time being at the hospital, her actually being here in Flint and at the hospital. So I walked in, there was a little lady there, and she was just sitting there reading her book. And I was like, "Hey, how you doing? How long you been coming here?" That was my first question. Like, you know the procedures here? See, because I need to talk to somebody who got some experience doing this, because I've done it other places. I had never done it. And soon as I said hi, that little lady closed her book. She said, "Well, this is how it goes. Because, my daughter's here all the time. She's adopted." Hold up. Soon as she said her daughter was adopted, I was like, "Is her daughter black or white?" Because she was white. And so I was waiting to hear. So when we go in the back, well, okay, she's white girls, but she was older than Deja. And she tried to kill this lady. She stabbed her up. The lady said she almost died. I mean, just horrific things. And that woman was still walking with that girl. Still, she was like, "I just hope this time when she comes out, she can't live with me anymore. I have a place for her somewhere else." I was like, "Dang, this can't be the adopted parent story, yo. Like, for real?" I felt so bad. And she adopted as a single woman. Raised her, but the girl gave her problems the entire time. I was like, yeah, yeah. Whew. So yeah, it was just interesting. But I said all I like to say, I'm going to talk to somebody, and somebody, listen. I told you when we lived in North Carolina, that's the only place where I didn't talk to people. When Dylan was playing football, it was 30 kids on the team. Only 5 kids on the team were black. I was the only single parent. Everyone else had a husband. So I stayed to myself. So I would sit up on the because it was like a football stadium, and I would sit up on the bleachers with Deja and Dylan. But then they would start playing with the other siblings who were there. They would start, running around because kids gonna play with kids. I would sit there. At this time, Al Sharpton was on MSNBC at night, and every night I would sit there on my BlackBerry because I had a BlackBerry then and watch MSNBC. That's before all the dirt came out about Al. So I'll sit there and watch it. And one of the fathers came and he was like, "Why aren't you watching Fox News?" I said, "Do I look like somebody who would watch Fox News?" I think I shook him because he stopped and looked at me like, "What did she say?" I was like, do I look like somebody who watch Fox News? I'm watching what I want to watch. MSNBC with the black man right here. Yeah, that's who I am. So I think I told y'all about Dr. Green, who came and befriended me, and his wife. I guess he forced his wife to befriend me because Dr. Green would come over every night and sit right next to me. I'm taking y'all home tonight, right? I was like, "You don't have to do that." He said, "I didn't ask you. I just want you to know I'm taking you home." He said, "So, okay, I'm just letting you know when it's time to go. Um, don't you walk to that bus stop. I'll be sitting there and y'all climbing in the truck with my kids." And he had one of them big ones. They had the three rows with the TVs up in there. Honey, them kids were getting there and they were so used to it. Like I told you, the wife came and introduced herself to me. She was like, "So, my husband told me," but she was really nice. But I guess she just wanted to know who is this woman. Because when I say I wouldn't talk to anybody, hear me, I was not even the black families. I wasn't fooling with anybody because I know when you are the single woman, and that was the same thing here. Why I wouldn't talk to anybody? Because when I looked around, when I came outside and I observed, there were men and women in these houses together. I said, "Hold up, here I come with all this big butt and I'm single. Oh no, ain't nobody could try to roll over here and try to do nothing to me. I'm living in a place I don't know nobody ain't gonna." Honey, cause see, I was smaller then. That thing was tight. No stomach, all that butt sitting out there, patat, patat. Honey, I know they was like, "Who the heck is she?" And then I came in, and the men were down there on the porch one day. I took the garbage out. I walk out, and you know how you look to the right, look to the left. Child, they was looking. I was like, "Oh God, please don't let not one of them say anything to me." Lo and behold, people, that was the subject. Daddy and his brothers. But the subject wasn't here. But that was his daddy and his brothers. Oh, it says hello. I said hello. That was the extent of it. Where my garden is right now, the dad used to mow where my garden was. He would drive his lawnmower around the corner. He would go and mow that area and then go back around the corner. All I ever said was hello. He said hello. Because I know what the dynamic is when you the single woman, honey, everybody looking thinking you trying to steal. Don't get me caught up in there. I just live here. That's why I said how things can happen because I stayed to myself because I understood. Like I remember when I went home one time, it's the first time I went across the street and I rang my neighbor's bell because the husband would always yell across the street at me when I was shoveling the snow. He was like, "My God, you out here at 5 o'clock." I was like, "Yeah, the kids got to go to school. So I'm just going to come out and shovel before the bus come and all that." And we was having like a lot of snow. And every morning I would get up, or I had the kids get dressed, and I'm like, "Come on, y'all." They like, "It's still dark." No, we want to shovel because I'm on a corner, so we got to start at one end and shovel all the way down. Then I got a long driveway. No, we got to get this done. So I was going home, and I knocked on the door, and I said, "Hello, I'm Felicia Don Harper from across the street. I'm going home. This is my phone number. If something happens to my house, can you just call me and let me know?" And she was like, "Oh, okay." And I turned around. I said, "Thank you," and walked back out the door. I wasn't fooling around like that. Now, Calvin, y'all know Calvin been crazy the whole time. I love Calvin. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take Calvin some tea cakes across the street. Y'all not be looking out for Calvin. I love Calvin. Calvin always talk because I used to tell my oldest child, Calvin is future you if you don't calm down. So just look at him. That's future you. But shoot, Calvin driving. Calvin done went bought him a new car. He driving. I'm like, how is he driving on all of this? Well, honey, he get out there and push that little. He drive wherever he want to go. And he come on back home and go right back in the house. But he drives slow. So, but the fact he driving. But yeah. So, I wasn't fooling like that. And then there was another young lady right here in the back. Honey. I was like, woo. I looked around. I was like, it's too many families over here. They're gonna be like, oh no, she a Jezebel. I was like, I ain't getting caught up like that. So yeah. But that's that. I have cooked. I'm gonna clean up and I'm gonna make me a nice salad and I'm gonna sit and eat me a salad. Then I'm gonna run some tea cakes across the street to Calvin. And I'm gonna try to reach Miss Houston right now again. And I hope she's not back in the hospital. Um, because I tried her earlier and left a message. So I'm calling her right now while I got y'all on and just see if she and let her know that we're gonna come and drop her some tea cakes off so she can feel better. Because I feel bad she doesn't feel it. Like I sent her flowers, she started crying. I was like, I just don't. Oh my God. She's like, girl, you had me crying in here. Yep. The phone just ringing. Okay. So I don't know. But yeah. So that was today, y'all. Thank y'all for coming on over here to Xavier's Treats and Us. I appreciate it. I only see one thumbs up, but that's okay. But I don't know. I might jump on this weekend and cook. Cause I had poor Dylan. I haven't cooked for that child in forever. I don't cook for him. Like and it's been nice enough to cook. I was like, he go outside and play basketball. Listen, when I made the barbecue, I cooked the other day. So I cooked last Saturday. He come in the house and guess what he did? He put a pot pie in the toaster oven. Do you see? I like cook food out there for you. So that's why I'm like cooking because Deja don't cook for her. She grown. She got her own food. She buy her own stuff. But he come in and he make whatever he wants. So why am I cooking for him? Standing up taller than me. I cannot believe that boy is taller than me. But the doctor told me. She's like, Miss Harper, this one gonna be big. Them two little birds you brought in here before. She said, look at his hands, look at his feet. 15 sneakers. She was not lying. And he was like, I just got to get to 6'5", mommy. I just got to get to 6'5". I'm looking like, yo, it's time to buy. If you going to school, I don't know what they're gonna do. His school district, I don't know, because one school district here opened and then they was like they closed for the whole year. They virtual the whole year. I'm like, come on, come on, Flint Community Schools. Come on, Carmen Ainsworth School District. That's where he goes. Carmen Ainsworth, because he was in a specialty program where he went to school on a college campus, and the kids did 5 years and they graduated with a high school diploma and an associate's degree. But they shut the program down, so now he's going to the regular high school. So he hasn't been there. So this food's talking to strangers is all that. All that. I don't have no and I think that was me hanging in New York too. Because you be in the city. You see people, you're on the train, you're whatever. And then I used to hang out in the city a lot. It was nothing for me to get on the train and pop over in the city. Nothing like, oh, I ain't got nothing to do today. Let me go. I always wanted to live in the city. My mother was terrified. Which one? Devin and Dylan both were homeschooled. So when we were in North Carolina, there was an incident. And they was going to call the police on my child. I said, if the police is called on my child, all 7 of the little heifers, you better call the cops on them too. Because they initiated this. And then they're going to run to the white savior, the principal. And he said he was going to call the cops on my kids. On my child. I said, so it's going down. It better be 7 cars out here. Because from what I understand, they started it. He looked at me. I said, I am so serious. If you call the police on my black son, you better call the police on their white daughters. And I know as a white man, You program to be their savior, but I'm programmed to be his. How it's going down. That day I took my child out of school and he was homeschooled. See, that's why I said that ninja, the stuff I've had to do for him to call the other night and feel like he getting stuff off his chest. Yes, he was homeschooled. Yes. So when we moved here, Devin and Dylan were both homeschooled. Devin didn't start school here until high school. So 7th and 8th grade, I homeschooled him, but he was homeschooled in North Carolina. And then when we went back to Jersey, he wanted to go to school, so he ended up going to Eagle Academy, which was an all-boy black school, right, sitting in Newark. Yes. And then Dylan was homeschooled in North Carolina. But then when we moved here, he was homeschooled. And so when it was time for Dylan to go into the 7th grade, he ended up going to the charter school here because I know my son wasn't cut out to go to school. Because he would actually, our home school is the school I've been working at home STEM Academy. That would have been the school he was going to. I was like, nope, my child not going there. So he ended up going to Linden Charter for 7th to 8th. And then when he was in the 8th grade, we had looked at Powers, which is a Catholic school here. He took the exam. We were the only black people. It was Asians and whites. It was the only black people. And then, they was like, oh, if you're Catholic, blah, 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 because it's Catholic high school. So that was where he was going to go because the tuition is like $10,000. For them, that's a lot of money. For me, I was like, whoo, you know how much St. Benedict's costs? This ain't nothing. 10,000 ain't nothing. But here, that's like, oh my God, 10,000 for school for a kid was a lot. So I was like, okay. Let me tell you why my son ended up going to Carmen Baker. The day we had to come in on a Saturday. Again, I was the only black face I saw the entire experience. Register him, exam, because I went with him when he took his exam. I stayed right there in the same room, reading my book, because I'm like, I'm not leaving my son here like this. And when we went back to do scheduling, they had us all in one room, and different instructors were taking kids and giving them their schedules. So he got his schedule, and they were shocked when I told him he's not coming here. And then, this is why. I'm listening as we're waiting, my ear open. They offering these other kids all this stuff. They get to my child and talk about, oh, maybe he should get like an hour study hall. And am I paying for study hall? She said, I said, no, he won't. You're going to give him an elective, give him a language. She said, well, I said, let me explain something to who I am. I pay you. You don't tell me what you're going to do with my son. She looked at me. I said, now, I'm the only color that I see in this room. And I have heard, and I didn't hear not one of these other people tell these people that their kids is getting study hall. But because he's black, you think you're going to stick my son up in study hall? Give him Spanish or French. Give him a language. You will. Well, because he's coming in, we don't know if he can handle the caseload. I said, did you say that to the mama who was just here before? I know you didn't, because I've been sitting here listening. Let me tell you something. He is National Honor Society 2 years in a row. You better fall back and hold up. That lady was like, okay, yes, when we left, his transcript his schedule looked like somebody who was a freshman who was an honor society kid, right? Honey, I got home and I prayed on that thing. I said, I'm not sitting my son up in that environment because I can already see I'm going to have to fight the entire time. And see, I'm not passive like these Negroes here. They don't mean it. Oh, yeah, they do mean it. They mean exactly what they're saying to you. Don't, no. So I ain't let them go there. And he was mad because, see, they got a great athletic department. But listen, they were sending me all the stuff. Like in the summer, oh, it's time for you to come because you're going to be this parent. And I was like, and this is what I told. I said, if I got to walk and he be in this school, you walking right next to me. You will not have me walk up in here and be around these people and be by myself. They need to see a black man standing next to me. He was like, okay. I said, because we're going to stand united if he go to this school. He was like, all right. So when I went to, let's go, all big and burly, that's like you come stand right with me. Because they need to know she ain't here by herself. And you're not going to do all this because I had already started. I had the finger waving like, oh no, see, I told Dylan, you can't come here because it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me for you to come to this school. I understand this is a good school, but no. I said, I don't even see any black teachers on their website. Who you got to run to? Who gonna be your savior when you need some help with these people? You can't come here. But here's the thing. Put them in the other school, not one black person in that school. I mean, not one. So he was at that school. So now this year he's going to the other school where there are black teachers. But I'm just saying, there was not put him in Carmen Baker, all white women. And then this year he had a white male. I don't think he was ready for me. Listen, because when my son was growing up, I was like, oh, fail him. They was like, whoa, what? Let me tell you, tell him that you're gonna fail him and see what happens. It was like, Dylan, if you don't do it, you're gonna fail. Pass the class with a B because he's a procrastinator. He is a procrastinator. He's an 11th hour kid. He's not gonna move. If the test tomorrow, that's when he's gonna study and pass. What? You are too smart for this. He's too smart for his own good. I always say that he's too smart for his own good. But yeah, that the male teacher he had this year, because I always go to parent night and I go start asking questions. And so one year when he was at the charter school, they didn't know I worked in the school. And I had came straight from work and I went to and they saw my lanyard and it was like, oh, you work at yeah, I do. I said, but right now, Miss Harper, I'm Dylan Harper's mom. It doesn't matter what I took my lanyard, I'll put it in my pocketbook. I'm here for this. It must have went through the building. All the attitudes changed when I went into meetings. Totally different. The principal, she was black too. Now she was a sister because her son went to Powers because her and I talked about Powers. But she, whatever. But I'm just saying, here educating your kid is not easy. And the male teacher he had this year, he wasn't on his game. So he sent the thing saying Dylan wasn't doing X, Y, and Z. So when we had the meeting, I said, I read your email and you were saying how Dylan wasn't doing X, Y, Z. I said, but let's talk about you. You haven't done blah, 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 blah. He looked at me. He said, what? I said, you sent your syllabus home. You haven't done this. You haven't done this. You haven't done this. I said, but you going to sit here and tell me what my son, when you step your game up, I'll tell him to step his game up. My son passed that class. I be talking straight. Like, don't come at me like that about my kids. My kids hate for me to go to school. Especially Deja. She's like, Mommy, please be nice when you come here. And because at her school, you go in the gym and you talk to the teachers. I would be like this. Like, my child, she's straight A student. Don't you play with me. And one of the teachers who was like, oh, Deja, she's this, she's that. Why she end up in my building being one of my coworkers? Honey, she saw me. She kept going. Because I went off on her in the gym. This other teacher came over. She said, we need a whole room full of you. We need a whole room. Yeah. Don't play with my kids. They might be crazy, but don't play with them. And I'm doing everything. Listen, if I'm paying for tutors, if I'm paying for this, that, I'm giving them what they need. You need to step up to the table and do what you're supposed to do as well as an educator, but not playing. Yeah, but Deja would be like, Mommy, please don't embarrass me. Devin would say the same. Please don't embarrass me when you go to the school. Because they know as soon as I hear something that was less, what just happened? And I would listen, I would lay right into the teacher. If I didn't learn anything else from Jawanza Kunjufu, your Chicago boy, Melanie, Jawanza Kunjufu, who I love, 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 love. I used to go hear him. I read all his series of Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Men, Black Boys. And then he wrote a book on the questions you should ask a teacher when your child is entering their class. That was the best thing I ever read. Because one, you throw people off their game when you come in like for the first. I love the opening before school when you go meet the teacher and then they give you your little time because I will pull out my questions and What? I'm like, what's your relationship to black men? Do you fear them? Like, if you're in a parking lot, do you put, hold up, you throw them off. The rest of my questions, they shook. Because I start with that question right there. Because, see, I'm about to sit a black man in your class. How you going to treat him? Are you scared of him? Are you afraid of him? Yeah. I was that mom. So I still got 2 more years with that one in there. Because he's going to the 11th grade this year. Now, this is a crucial year. Because his stuff got to be tight. Because this is what they look at for college. Even though they say freshman, it's that 11th grade. I gotta keep him tight. Starting when next the 17th. I already called my friend. He's a math teacher in Newark. I was like, listen, I need to hire you. You got to start tutoring Dylan for math for 11th grade because I know math is not Dylan's strong suit. He don't care for math. He said, "Oh, I'm good," but he want to go to college. Hello, I already got one. I can't believe Deja going to college, y'all. Like I never thought it could happen. But you see, with a praying mama and a persistent mama, and I'm going to get you every tool you need so that you can be successful. So that's why when I started the support group at the school for LSS parents, LSS parents are parents who of children with special needs here. When I started the support group, I told them my story about Deja because I'm like, no one would have said that she would be here. Because everything was just so negative. Oh, she can't retain. Oh, she can't do this. Oh, she can't do this. And I'm like, Deja, you see this? Your mother ain't never said that one day out of her mouth, has she? Because you can do all things. So if you want to go on this ride, I'm going to go on this ride with you. And that's all she needed. All she needed to know is that I had her back. And she was pumping it up. Once we got her in that class setting with Miss Givens, 5th grade, that woman was a godsend for me. Because my child was going down fast. The ship was on, it was sinking. It was on fire. It was sinking. It had a hole in the bottom. My child was going down fast, honey. And Miss Givens opened my child up because Miss Givens was a social worker and switched over to teaching because she had a special needs child. And let me tell you now, it was nothing but love in that classroom. Her and her para. Honey, I volunteered. I brought snacks. I went on trips. Whatever Miss Givens needed. I still call Miss Givens on the phone right now. She lives in Jersey City, New Jersey. I call her right now because I am forever grateful to that woman because she broke my child out of her shell. Because Deja wouldn't talk. Because she had been so defeated in school. And it was Miss Givens, honey. Miss Givens was like, oh no, Deja, we're gonna do this. And honey, after that, Deja, then when she got to Miss and her what is her name? Miss Pamela. What's Pam's last name? Her and I are friends on Facebook right now. She was Deja's 6th grade teacher before we moved here. Deja was giving her the business and she was giving it right back. But she told Deja, you know I'm friends with your mother, right? She said, no, I'm not one of them teachers and I just know you. No, your mother and I are friends. Deja couldn't stand it. And then the para was in the class, had the same bad attitude as the teacher. Man, they was giving Deja fever, honey. They would call me, they'd be like, Miss Harper, let me tell you what, and see, because I always packed their lunch, and they always had good lunches, right? I made sure they had enough snacks. They came and Deja lunch bag was sitting in. She's like, Miss Harper, you send too much food home. I mean, too much food to school. I was like, she said, Deja, she had candy and everything with everybody. I was like, she don't have no candy. She got food roll-ups in the. She said she is giving all her food up to her friends in the class. She said, you sending too much. I said, well, I didn't want her to be hungry. Now, up until 2 years ago, I still was making 15 lunches a week. I'm telling you, I would make lunch and still go to work. I made sure that they had enough food because that was just like my kids need something to eat. But those were my fears as a single parent. Some of my fears was this was one thing I feared, and I said that would never happen with my kids. I said they never gonna be hungry. I said they will never be hungry. They will never have someone over them violating them, and they're gonna have a roof over their heads. Those were the promises I made to them little people. Like, we ain't gonna never be hungry. That y'all ain't gonna never worry about that. We ain't gonna be hungry. And so that's why I always had time to get hard food. Because there have been hard times. We've had some hard times, but they weren't hungry. I could pull in because I told you when we moved to North Carolina, I lost my storage. So I had to start all over in North Carolina. And so that was a hard transition for us because I had to start from scratch. Had to get everything, wash and dryer, um, everything. But we made it and we persevered. So it hasn't always been easy, but guess what? You wouldn't know it because I made sure they had bellies and they had a roof over their head. And those were the promises I made. And so now two of them grown. I can't even believe. Don't make me shout right here on this thing. Two of them people grown, honey. And I got one more, old Malcolm, 16 and something else. Listen, if y'all look on my desk, there's a big box of condoms for him too. Because that's the one. See, them other two done escaped out of here without going to jail and making a baby. It'll be Malcolm. Because he liked them and they like him. And see, the taller they get, the more girls gravitate to him. Because, they like, his little Adam's apple is out now. I was like, look at my child. Honey, I don't know what to say. Listen, it's rough. But I'm gonna get off this thing here because I've been on here for an hour and 31 minutes talking to y'all today. But y'all see my nap did me real good. Because normally when I wake up from a nap, I don't bounce back like this. I feel like, oh my God. I'm so tired. I can't get myself together. But now I gotta go out in the garden and water. He does. It's just amazing to what even I remember when Devin's voice dropped. I was like, what? Oh my God. I was like, I got men up in here. You gotta realize I didn't grow up in the house with a man. My mother, father, I didn't and I told y'all I just had the one experience. No, I ain't tell y'all about all that. And I'm not gonna tell that because my people probably drive a car over here and burn this house down if I tell all of that. But I didn't grow up in a house with men. And so it's amazing. Like Dylan is the nastiest thing on the planet. I just never seen anything like it. And then the other one, he was a hoarder. He would just sleep with all the stuff in his bed and his room would be nasty too. But Dylan, like I have to periodically go in there. Like last weekend I made him wash his walls down and mop the floor, sweep and mop and clean up under his dresser. You think he washed his sheets and blanket? He gonna Febreze them. But here's the thing. I said I gotta stop. I have to draw my line in the sand and I have to just sit and watch. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to just sit and watch and let stuff be because I'll be like, no, that's not right. You're not going to do that. But I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning just let it go. Let it go. What they say, don't sweat the small stuff. But that room, I went in my cabinet. It was not a bowl. Guess what they were in his room? Because he eat all night playing a video game. So my forks, spoons, bowls, whatever else he ate in the course of the night, it's in there. And listen, he have clothes and he have stuff all over the floor. He walk right over and go get like his. I just bought him 3 pair of sneakers when the summer started because I'm like, listen, he got 3 pair of sneakers when school started, and he got a pair of dress shoes and a pair of casual shoes. Then he was funky, so he didn't get any sneakers for Christmas. I'm like, no, you got a bad attitude? You're not getting any sneakers for Christmas. So he had just those 3 pair of sneakers the whole school year last school year because I'm like, I can show you better than I can tell you. So when summer came in, I was like, all right, Felicia, I think his feet grew. You're going to have to get some size, and show enough size 15. So I bought him 3 pair of summer starts. Guess what? He ain't wearing. That's what he said. Because he think he going to get in trouble again. He was like, no, I'm not going to wear those because, I might need those for school. Because he remembered he had a funky attitude. And I ain't bought no more sneakers. So he got 3 pair of nice sneakers. But he got big feet. So now I'm going to have to go to DSW and get him some school shoes because I still old school. I still buy school because I believe he should wear shoes. And he think he's supposed to wear sneakers every day. I'm like, your feet, son, you got to put on some good shoes. So, yeah. But anyway, he got big feet. big feet. He was talking about today. His friends call his feet ham feet or something like that because his feet so big. So them stink sneakers, I just threw them in the garbage because he kept going to play basketball. I think they were Kyrie's or something like that. See, I don't even know. Guess what I do when I go in the store? Do you have any sneakers for size 15? But it was size 14. You got any size 14? So then he take me. So it'd be LeBron, Kyrie's, whatever. All right. Just give me those. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. Just give me. When I come home, he was like, those are nice. But if I go to the store with him, I'm sitting on the bench for hours waiting for him to make a decision. As opposed to just going in the store and saying, what shoes do you have that size 14? See, that cuts through all of this. But no, he gonna go on the wall. You got this pair? Don't come in that size. You got this pair? Dude, just ask them, do they have, show you the ones that size 14. But now we at size 15. I think they're gonna keep going. So yeah. But that's where I'm at. So now it's if he goes to school, I don't know what's gonna happen. If they because I don't want him to go to school. I told him he can do virtual. He was like, no, I gotta play ball. That's why I've been getting ready for this summer. Oh, COVID is out here. What is wrong with you? Thinking you gonna play some sports? He had a mask on and he be down there playing ball with his friends every day. I was looking at little legs, got little muscles in the legs. I was like, it's a man right here. When did this happen? It's amazing to watch. But that's my power to the people kid. Thank God I got one. I needed one that was like me. But y'all enjoy your weekend. And I'm gonna make me salad because it's after 5 o'clock, and I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna water my garden. And y'all have so much fun. Stay safe. I wish I could do stuff because I really want to get on an airplane and go somewhere. I really need to go somewhere. And I know I was joking about Dexter. I don't care about Dexter, but I need to go somewhere so that I can just breathe and just take in. But I feel better. God knows I woke up this morning and the load was lifted because he kind of gut punched me yesterday because he told the truth and it kind of was hard to hear. But I thanked him for telling the truth. But it was a gut punch. It was like poof, poof. I was like, I'm still standing though. Thank you for telling me the truth. We went from Saturday to today to get the truth, but thank you. Because he didn't even have to, he could have just left it like that. But he told me the truth. So I was grateful for the truth. But honey, it gut punched a sister. But when I woke up this morning, I was me. Because I'm like, okay, I got closure now. I got it. I'm good. Because I was a little crazy right there. I'm wacky when I just didn't understand like why. I still don't get it, but he told the truth and he stopped lying. And that's all I wanted. I just needed closure. So that's it. Told you I wouldn't talk about that no more. I woke up this morning. Yes. Went walking. And listen, today I was jamming to Kim Burrell. And and I got the CD in the room. Her song Holy Ghost. Oh my God. I was jamming. I did I think I'm at 10,000 steps today already. And I haven't even gone out because when I'm watering the garden, I start walking again. But I was jamming to that song today. I needed that song. That was my little communion today. I was because one is very jazzy, her song Holy Ghost, and then it shifts in the song. Man, I was blasting that thing in my earbuds the whole time I walked this morning. And I have been listening to I don't watch Terrell, but Terrell did like a pre-show. And these two guys, George and Saeed, they sing this song called All Baby. Them jokers is killing it on that song. I like me some good singing. And there's some singing jokers. I was like, oh God, thank you. But yeah, so y'all have a good weekend. So I just been blasting music because I told y'all before I only watch TV because that person watch TV. I don't have to watch TV. So I can read my books and listen to music and be me again. Yay! Have a great weekend. My doorbell is going like bananas, so somebody outside. I might come on Sunday. And Melanie, I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow. So once I get up, I'm going to film the making of the beans and all that from beginning to end for Canon, and I'll post it so you can see it. Because I said I would do it on Thursday, but I can do it tomorrow because I can put the beans on tonight. Don't see it's easy throwing them in the crock pot tonight, and then in the morning they done, and then I can move on. So yeah, I'll be doing that. You guys enjoy. Take care. Love y'all for coming over. Be blessed. Peace.